In this video, I'm going to show you some examples of different kinds of shots that you can have in your film. Now, why do we want different shots? Why not just set up the camera and have one wide shot? Well, for one, having shot variety or camera variety keeps things more interesting to the viewers. Any movie or TV show you watch has different camera angles or different shots. It also gives you more freedom when you get to editing. You can do things like have a character move in space quicker than if you just film them walking from point A to point B just straight without any different kinds of camera variety. So these are some basic examples of different shots that you might have in your film. Establishing shot. Most basic shot, and the very first thing you should probably have in your movie is establish the viewers where you are. What's the setting, time of day? You could show the year, the place, all sorts of stuff. You can even start to introduce your characters in your establishing shot. So here is a video showing an example of an establishing shot.
Timing's perfect. Hey.
Now, the cool thing about this video that you might notice is it shows the outside of a New York City building. The camera pans and tilts up to a window, and then there's a cut. Okay, so the editors went in, they made a cut, and they cut to the inside of the building. And as viewers, we understand that what the director is telling us, the editor is telling us, is that they're establishing that this apartment is in New York, and it's on top of, it's on one of the top floors of an apartment building. But actually, the interior shot was shot on a sound stage in Brooklyn. So what they did was they actually had one crew go out, film the establishing shot, while another crew was filming at the same time on a sound stage in Brooklyn. So they're two completely separate spaces. This is something that you guys can certainly do at school or at home. You can have the exterior of one place and then the interior someplace else. A close-up. So close-up is used to show details on someone's face or details of an object, right? We can really see Heath Ledger in the Joker, how his makeup is all runny and his hair is all frazzled, more than we would be able to if it was further back. An extreme close-up allows us to see really close details, reflection in someone's glasses, for instance. And here's an example of an extreme close-up. Now, a lot of times what a close-up or an extreme close-up is used for is something called a cutaway and insert shot. And that's actually also what was being shown in the clip before this. What a cutaway and insert shot is meant to do is draw the viewer's attention to a particular place in the film. Okay, and sometimes it's to tell us that something important is going to happen with that person, place, or thing. A medium shot, most basic shot that you'll have in your movie. A long shot, wide shot allows us to see some of the setting, some of the background that our characters are in. Point of view puts us in the point of view of the character, right? GoPro videos, action sports videos, those are a lot of point of view shots, right? It makes us feel like we're in the driver's seat, that we're on this bike. It could also help us feel like really in the place of these characters. So in this scene here, right, we feel a little bit awkward with these other characters staring right into the camera. Here's another example of a point of view shot. You'll notice it's also a close-up and a cut-in, right? We're cutting in to close-ups of the different things the character is looking at around the room in order to draw the viewer's attention to those different objects. Low angle, high angle. So point of view, right? You might have noticed by now that a lot of these shots overlap, right? An establishing shot is also a wide shot. A low angle, high angle, also a point of view, and a medium shot, right? So we're in the character's point of view, and how does the low angle make us feel? Makes us feel small and weak. The other characters, these two guys right here, seem really strong and very overcerting over us. Where in this shot right here, we as the viewer feel like we're in power, and these two guys are meant to seem a little bit meek. Here's an example of a high and low angle used for comedy purpose in a show called Scrubs. So the way this scene is going to start, you're going to have both characters in medium shots and an over-shoulder dialogue shot talking to each other. That's to establish they're both the same height. But very quickly, it then switches to that low angle, high angle point of view shot to bring a comedy effect in that the nurse is very overcerting, is powerful over the delivery man.
Listen, I run back and forth for 18 hours a day between patients who might die and patients who will die. And if I find time to write an order for bedpans, I write it fast. So you will forgive me if I don't feel like being judged by some guy in his 30s who still wears shorts to work. Now, go ahead and say the only 3 words I want to hear coming out of your mouth.
Sign here, please.
Okay, and finally an over-shoulder shot. We use this a lot for dialogue. And you'll notice also medium shots. So really use these camera angles, plan out your filming using your storyboards, which is whole nother video tutorial, and plan as many shots as possible. What I always tell my students, if they're going to have somebody walking from point A to point B, let's say from the parking lot to the front of the school, film that once, move the camera, film it again, and do that 5 more times. This way you have as many shots as possible, which when you get to editing will give you so much more choice and variety.